Today we're talking about accessing interfaces like GUIs and web interfaces on managed devices using Terminal Console Server. Some context. We're talking about managing networks with a Terminal Console Server. Terminal Console servers that give you console access to network devices like routers, switches, and firewalls. But what if you want to access the web interface of those devices instead? During an outage, you may have a firewall or a server whose web interface you need access to. And so we're going to be showing you today how local managers can give you that access during outages. So to demonstrate this, we're going to first log into one of our Lantronix control centers here. And we're going to go ahead and look at one of our local managers. Now this LM83X has a bunch of devices connected to it. Today we're going to be looking at this Palo Alto. Now this Palo Alto, it's a VM, and so we're creating what we call a virtual port to give us access to the console of that device. It's really SSH access, but we treat it like a console port, and that enables our automation. For example, we're monitoring high availability and active sessions on this firewall. But in addition, we are able to give you access to the web interface. To do that, we're just going to go ahead and open up a SSH session using one of our Lantronix SSH applications here. And once we get logged in, we can go to that port, and if we want to, like I said, we can terminal into that firewall, but really we want access to the web interface. For that, we need to create an SSH tunnel to the device. Now we've already defined the attributes for this, so I'll show you how to do that in a moment. But to access it now, we just click terminal and forward, and we just click this button for the Palo Alto on port 51. And you can see we've opened up SSH tunnel. I'll bring this down so you can see it better. It's going to localhost here, right? But that's actually going through an SSH tunnel over the cellular connection for that local manager if need be, across the remote WAN, and to the web interface of this Palo Alto. So if I ignore this certificate warning, it's going to go ahead and through that SSH tunnel give me access to this device's web interface where I can do whatever troubleshooting and remediation I need to do, whether that's fixing an ACL that was changed in error, undoing a software update that brought down the network. Whatever that might be, I have full access to this device's web interface, and so I can do what I need to troubleshoot and remediate that device without having to connect to it locally or over the network, which is probably broken in this scenario. I should mention this doesn't just work for web interfaces. This could be any TCP port on any device that the local manager has a route to, or that it's connected to using its dedicated Ethernet connections here, which let us do direct connections between the local manager and the network management ports of devices. Now to set that up, it's pretty straightforward. Like I said, I'll use the browser terminal to show you this. If we go to that port 51, show info, I already have defined the management IP of this device, so we know that. If we need to change that, that's config info to change that. It just shows us our current settings and asks us if we want to change it. And then the second part of that is the protocol forward. So if we do config protocol forward, we were put into a little editor where question mark will show us what our options are. We can either define a forward over the management port, which is this management IP here, or we can do it over the dedicated Ethernet port, which again is not configured for this particular device, but you can use elsewhere. So in this case it would be management, and then the port would be 443 for the secure web, and then we tell it HTTPS so that your operating system knows what program to use to handle that. Of course, show will show you your current settings, and exit gets you back out of the editor. So that's all that's required to configure that. Again, this could be any TCP port, this could be remote desktop, this might be the DRAC or ILO management ports on a server, but whatever network service you need to access, Lantronix local managers can broker those connections using secure SSH tunnels. Thanks for checking out another product feature video from Lantronix, and check out the rest. Don't forget to like and subscribe.